Good evening, everyone. I'm back from vacation, and sure do I have a lot of news on my desk as we're getting here. We're going to be talking about Russia and Ukraine and how possibilities are about to align to where maybe they are about to get into a fight. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but it's good to be back. And without further ado, let's roll the intro. All right. So, if anyone can tell on the webcam, we have a new one. So, yeah, a little bit me more in high definition, even higher than we usually do. So you get to see all my little, complexion issues, I guess. That white balance is terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to be recording an intro episode today. So today we're going to be talking about, crap. Today we're going to be talking about Ukraine and Russia. Now, when it comes to what's going on here, I've got a few sources. I actually had to pull up some satellite photos to try to validate. Excuse me. But what we're seeing is that the Russians are really persnickety right now about what's going on, what's happening, and to make it a long story short, I've got a lot of troop movements and camps being formed out the region to the north of Ukraine, which is not the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. This is up around Voronezh and whatnot that we're seeing a lot of this. Excuse me. The long and the short is the Russians are moving quite a bit of hardware and troops into the regions outside of Ukraine. Now, I'm not going to say that's alone enough to posture. Excuse me, I cannot word today. I'm still a little drained from the vacation. I'm not going to surmise that this is just going to be, invasion imminent. But what I will say, is that we're seeing a lot of materials moving into the region. We are seeing a massive problem between the United States and Russia as far as its relationship, particularly with the United States actually actively sanctioning the Russians here this week. I did catch that. So we have troop movements, we have diplomatic issues, we have a number of things going on here that makes me very interested to see in what is coming down the line. But if I would suffice it to say that if anyone is paying attention, be sure to look at Russia-Ukraine over the next 6 to 8 months. That looks to be a pretty big window for what will be going on. We might have a hellacious summer that fires off here. We were looking at Egypt and Ethiopia, Sudan, Ethiopia, and we are now looking at Russia, Ukraine, and we have yet to do China, India, but that's a conversation we need to do as well, where we've got significant military and political forces at work here, which can make this a very lively summer. And unfortunately, this is the kind of summer that means that bodies get dropped, but I'm not going to say invasion imminent, but I'm just repeating myself. I apologize. If anyone's paying attention, a lot of the the southern parts of Ukraine, in particular the eastern parts of Ukraine, are kind of Russified. Gets into questions about ethnicity, but most of these people are people that speak Russian and think of themselves as Russian, but they are in another state, known as Ukraine. And the people in the western part of Ukraine really think of themselves as Ukrainian. They don't like the Russians. They're very upset with the Russians. They don't want anything to do with them. But on the eastern part, that's not quite the case. In fact, there's quite a bit of people that support the Russian, and it's almost a complete divide on the Dnieper River, with anyone that is east of the Dnieper being more pro-Russian, and those who are west of it being more pro a free and independent Ukraine. There's some issues here. Transnistria, which is on the border with Moldavia, and the southern pieces around Odessa have some Russified issues. But the whole conversation here is that this is looking to be a hot summer. I wanted to post out that I do see what's going on here. I have seen T90, T80, T72s move into the region. I have seen on satellite maps that we do have bases being built, or not bases, but more like staging areas, actually. And we're talking like armored depots where you have like an armored battalion there. And I've seen multiples of these pop up in the last couple bits. Now, granted, this might be outdated information or information that's just now getting to me, but I've gotten a lot of these more recently fire off on my radar, which usually means that there's at least something going on. Whether there's an information leak is to be determined, but it looks to me, by satellite pictures, by video recordings, there's a lot of hardware that are moved in. I'm not seeing any troop numbers, and I'm really kind of trying to figure out what the state of the Russian military is right now. I'm hearing all kinds of things from all across the board, but generally it's pretty bad. But what I am looking at, what really interests me, is that the Russians seem to have slimmed down onto a core of very loyal, very reliable people. And granted, it's nowhere near as big as the Red Army was back 10 years ago, but these are people that are actually committed. These are people that are actually paid and constantly trained and whatever. It's becoming a more of an elite fighting force. No, I'm not talking about the Spetsnaz. I'm talking about the actual standing Russian military. So that's where we are now, and that's what we're seeing. So I want to give out a quick dispatch, let you guys know what was going on regarding that. I hope you at least now have a little bit of an idea. I'm sorry I don't have all the technical details for you. I'm still lining that out. I might give an update dispatch sometime later on. But at least where we are now is that things are getting interesting. And usually when things get interesting, it's a time for alarm. Now, I'm not hearing anything from Langley. I'm not hearing anything outside of... I'm not hearing anything from official channels, basically. But anyone behind the door is being very talkative right now, or anyone who is in the civilian intelligence sector is being very, very talkative about this right now. And of course, the press is alight with this because they want to scream about it. But I don't like to deal with the press because the press hardly ever knows anything. The journalism isn't what it used to be. So yeah, Russia, Ukraine. Pay attention the next couple months. That's going to be interesting. I wouldn't expect anything fires off quite yet. But we probably, if it's my guess, we'll see an intensification of hostilities in Donetsk and Luhansk over the next couple months as the Russians basically help fund the rebels, insurgents, little green men in the region. So there's your dispatch. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to catch you guys later. And if you want, come join us out on the Right Wing panel or whatnot on the other YouTube channel, Tyberius D Off Topic. Very easy to find. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.